Fisher, today let's talk about the PowerDrive.
Yep, the PowerDrive helps a lot in our daily life, doesn't it?
Yep, three reasons that we think that the PowerDrive has made our life better, right?
Yep.
And these reasons, actually go away from the PowerDrive, but we'll start with reason number 3, Fisher, and I believe is exercise.
Yep. You can whenever like we go to the park or something, you can do the thing like where you walk with your feet, sort of. You can kind of, and then whenever you get tired, you can just push your little Bluetooth watch and you're there. You go.
Yeah, as a quadriplegic, I was able. Not all quads can do this, but I was able to get out of the power chair and get into the manual chair, right, Fisher? But just because I got in a manual chair, that does not mean that I'm like a para and I can, continually push and I can do all the things that a para can in a manual chair, right?
Yeah.
I have my limitations.
Yeah, you can run out of stamina whenever you're wheeling yourself through Walmart.
And there's as we go further into this video, we'll mention some of the differences. But it also gives you the ability to, I was able to get out of the van, all the accessibility parts that was breaking, got a new vehicle, was able to break this chair down into the car. And so that would definitely be the first reason that I would say, starting with reason number 3 would be exercise and, the ability to get out of the power chair, right, Fisher?
Yeah, it's kind of like a run-walk relationship. Like the run is kind of pushing your PowerDrive. Pushing your chair for 10 minutes, and then walk, and then the walk part is like the PowerDrive for 5 minutes. That's what's kind of like. And
stuff that people don't realize is little things like, when you get out of the power chair, you no longer have the back lift. The backwards tilt to do your weight shifts. I've got to use my arms and push up with my armrest on my manual chair to do my weight shift. And so I'm gaining strength that way, leaning forward to do weight shifts, gaining core muscles that way, and understandably, when we're talking about this, I understand that not all quads are, we don't all recover the same, and we don't all recover all these muscles that we're talking about. But, definitely exercise would come in at number 3 is what, as a quadriplegic, that the PowerDrive has allowed, right?
Yeah. Because when you're in your power chair, the closest thing to exercise you probably had was maybe every now and then pushing up your hand.
Yeah, that would be it. And so that's a very fortunate thing. And then we'll go into number 2, Fisher. Number 2 is, I guess the PowerDrive, this kind of goes in with number 3 maybe, but number 2 would be the ability to go grocery shopping, the ability to, go to places like Discovery Park, like we went to earlier this year, when we went to Atlanta this past weekend, going to the College Football Hall of Fame. And so the PowerDrive, obviously I cannot push all the way around the College Football Hall of Fame. I couldn't push all the way around these other places. And so the PowerDrive allows us as a family, right, to do things like that, right?
Yeah, you could do it. You didn't have any limitations. The only limitation you had was not standing up, really.
Yeah, and and again, there's a lot of differences of the manual chair, if you're able to get into it, as a quad, and obviously paras, that's what they push all the time. It does have the capabilities of whether it's on dirt or grass, they don't get stuck as easy. There's a lot of differences that make that manual chair a better option if it's a possibility. If you're able to get into that manual chair, right, Fish?
Yeah, and also the College Football Hall of Fame was very handicap accessible.
It was, and so obviously the weight difference, between a manual chair and that power chair. And so again, even though it doesn't seem like it, when you step back and you look at things, you realize, Fisher, that PowerDrive is just much more than just a power assist for a manual chair, right?
Yeah, and it's more than just a like you said, assist. And also another one thing with your power chair that was a problem with it was the battery. You would constantly have to change them.
Yeah, the battery cost, and
Battery
battery charger. I mean, it was, once my power chair got some age on it, it was a total mess of, seemed like we were always trying to work on it, right?
Yeah, electric tape and hot wiring.
To the number one reason that I think that the PowerDrive has really, really helped me. And again, some of these kind of go in with the same, but the number one reason is being able to go up inclines in my manual chair. Right, Fisher?
Yep, you could go, I mean, as we saw there, you could go up an incline pretty easily.
Yeah, just like at the College Football Hall of Fame. We went into the little movie theater thing they had. It was up an incline. The ramp was up an incline. Right at our front, at our house, our wheelchair ramp is on an incline. And, I'm able to go up it, as you're seeing now. And so you see the different things that this is allowed, and, them inclines are definitely a big part, right?
Yeah, the PowerDrive makes you be able, it lets you go up the inclines. You can't push yourself up inclines.
Not a bit. I can barely push. I can hold myself, but I can't really make any, big momentum gains going up a hill. And so the PowerDrive definitely, has improved my life tremendously as a quad in a manual chair, right, Fisher?
Yes, by far.
By far. And there are some negatives to it, and we'll get into that toward the end of this video. But, looking now, we'll give you some looks into the, what it does, with a quad. You need to be able to have a little bit of hand control, a little bit of finger function, because, when you do turn the PowerDrive, it is you've got to grab your rim on each side of your wheelchair. So if you want to turn left, you got to grab your left rim, and that stops that wheel. And obviously it makes you go left, turn, and if you want to go right, same thing on the other side. You got to hold and go to the right. And so you do have to have some finger function to use the PowerDrive, right, Fish?
Yeah, and another thing, you can't, every now and then you get your fingers stuck into the
and I do
rims,
and it does hurt. It hurts me, at least. Maybe I'm a big baby, but it does. And and anybody out there wondering, the PowerDrive, it is controlled by a watch like
Bluetooth.
And it's Bluetooth.
Better than battery.
Better than battery. And you just tap it twice and it goes, and you tap it twice and it stops. You got a lot of different settings on it, for speeds, depending on how fast you want to go, depending on what setting you want to go. And so that is definitely a plus. But these are definitely things that made my life better, right, Fish?
Yeah, and you actually got your PowerDrive cheaper than they usually get them brand new.
Yep, I got mine on Facebook Marketplace, and I paid about a third of the price compared to what they are new. But anyway, as we end this video, Fisher, I would definitely reach out to all the quads out there that are on the verge of, they've thought, do I want to get in a manual chair? Do I not? Do I want to stick with the power chair? I'm nervous about it. I will say this, is that I personally recommend any quad that has the capabilities of getting into that manual chair to get into the manual chair. Again, for the same three reasons, whether it be the reason that that's, my third reason being exercise. You get so much exercise out of the manual chair. Whether it is the second reason, it is the maneuverability, the weight difference. Again, you can start breaking it down and getting into a car, and you can get out of the handicap accessible vans. You can get into it opens the world up when you get into the manual chair. And then obviously, three is if you're a quad or somebody that's a para or any type of disability, you got the capabilities of going up inclines in the manual chair. And so again, that would be my number one reason. Cannot leave this video without saying that there are some disadvantages that you have to be careful of, because there's obviously more than one power assist for manual chairs. You got the e-motion wheels, that are they're probably better for inside the house, without a doubt, because the PowerDrive inside the house, this is my number one negative about the PowerDrive, is inside the house, the PowerDrive is not really, when you got a lot of cuts, turns, and stuff like that going into doorways, the PowerDrive is not really cut out to be made to do inside.
Yeah, because I mean, like, whenever you go into a house, it's not going to be a straight shot like it is in Walmart or a Dollar General.
Exactly, Fisher. And so when I'm inside the house, I immediately just take mine off. And so that is the biggest negative to the PowerDrive that I have saw, is that it is, it's not whatsoever cohesive for inside the house.
No, but one thing you can do is you can put yourself in like the level flooring.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need it either anyways.
Right.
The wheels.
And then that comes back into the exercise thing. Even though I don't use it inside the house, that goes right back to the third reason I said to start with, is exercise. I no longer have that power chair where I'm just powering along all the time. And so, I mean, like I said, there's so many different positives to the PowerDrive, and more than what you can mention in a 12 or 13 minute video, right, Fisher?
Yeah, but one more negative about it is like if you're not, it's kind of heavy for you.
Yes, they do weigh 13 pounds. And so when I do move it, as a quad, it is a little bit heavy for me. I move it. I can hook it onto the bracket on my axle of my tie-light wheelchair. But that's a good point, Fisher. They're 13 pounds, and they've got a handle on them, and hand it up here, Fisher. And just to show everybody, put it on my lap. It is something as a quad, yes, I can hold it. It is something that I can, but it is heavy. And, so there you go, Fish.
And something that really helps you is like just putting it on your lap and then putting right back on and putting her in the car seat if I'm not with you.
Yep, and so that was a good point. And so throughout this video, obviously you've seen the clips of, me, whether it's being in Walmart, making the turns with it, or, going up the inclines. And so you've seen some demonstrations throughout this video of me using the PowerDrive. And so hopefully these 3 tips, these 3 things that have helped mine and Fisher's life will help everybody else's if you're looking into getting into a manual chair and possibly using a power assist like the SmartDrive.
Yep, we hope that this video helped you.
Yes. And so make sure to hit that subscribe button and continue to follow us. We got lots of videos. We got vlogs about what we do in life, our travel vlogs, educational videos like this. So make sure and hit that subscribe button. And most of all, what we preach, don't just, look negative into things. Make sure that you're living your best life. And Fisher?
Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Peace.
Peace. Cool kid.